In the immediate aftermath of All Elite Wrestling's latest pay-per-view offering, Wrestle Dream, in the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler, I'm helping Yuta, Pac, as well as Marina Shafir, except we still don't know her, decided to commandeer a camera and apparently steal a truck and ride out into the goddamn night in Tacoma in an open truck. That's certainly a goddamn choice, but he basically said that I hate what AEW has become, and yet you're all still here. But Jon Moxley did pose a question directly into the camera and directly into the very souls of the All Elite Wrestling roster. What is the new paradigm? It means you work for me now. So I'd like to pose a question to Tony Khan. Hey, Tony, are you aware that one of your wrestlers is trying to start a goddamn mutiny, saying that everybody works for him? How would Jon Moxley be able to pull this off? Was he able to get into Shad Khan's hard drive and find some illicit stuff, allegedly? Find some stuff, some shady business practices, maybe some stuff on the dark web, the information superhighway. And he was able to get half of Shad Khan's fortune. And he was able to just take the whole thing and just buy it out from under Tony Khan. Tony Khan would simply say, no, 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 the company is mine, 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 no, 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 mine, mine, mine. WBD executives may have a bit of a share, but I have all the voting power. It's my company, mine. See, Tony Khan would say that if he was any kind of boss, and if he was maniacal, and if he was just Herb Abrams, just with a lot more money. But Tony Khan would also just basically say he would not want to be a boss. He would just say, oh, John, he's so entertaining. I'm going to add a couple more zeros to his weekly bonus. Thanks, guys. I'm John Martin with my review of AEW Dynamite, coming fresh off of Wrestle Dream. Check out my review of that. This is from the SAP Center in San Jose, California, where the San Jose Sharks play. 17,500 seat capacity. They had maybe 3,500 people according to WrestleTix. That's how many tickets they were set up for, by the way. And I'm just going to say right now that I did enjoy my time at Wrestle Dream, especially spending time with two of my best friends and getting to talk to some really, really cool people, including, I didn't get the guy's name, but really, really nice, knowledgeable, hilarious as fuck black guy right in front of us. Really hilarious. Really good guy. It was a great time being able to interact with various fans. And we had a lot of time to do that because there were certain matches on that show that basically killed the crowd, even though we tried to make as much noise as possible. And I'm going to say once again, that main event, that horseshit finish, I have no problem. If Brian wanted to go out that way, fine. Here's the thing. It killed Washington State as a market. So yeah, Mox and Co. are leaving the Tacoma Dome, and, you know, they can be, I just want them to be the best versions of themselves. What movie is he taking this stuff from? I don't believe that Moxley actually knows that many words. No, in all seriousness, Moxley has frustrated me. This stuff is going nowhere. He's talking in riddles. It's not going to end up having a pretty good payoff. I'm sorry, it's just not. I don't mind slow burn stuff, but I got sick of the Bloodline stuff a while ago. And I'm sorry, but I don't trust Tony Khan or really anybody involved to pay this off, because to me, it's just Moxley stroking his own goddamn ego. So, yeah, it's like, you work for me now. Okay, we got to take you down. Here's the thing. This group is not any kind of fearsome fighting force. I'm sorry. Marina Shafir, this is the best they featured her. She also hasn't had to get in the ring and wrestle because she can't. Wheeler, I'm helping. Yuta he can be the cowardly, heel, or the cowardly, chicken shit, member of this group. Pac, he can do shit. Claudio doesn't really mean much of anything. And Moxley as champion again. I don't care if it's for just a few weeks. I don't care if it's for a few months. They are spinning their wheels. Speaking of spinning their wheels, here's Adam Cole, baby. And Adam Cole spent about half the time that he's been signed by AEW on the injured list. Now, yes, he had the concussion, and then he had the ankle injury. And I believe it was some kind of double ankle surgery that he needed to have. He talked about MJF. He needed to do this on his own. So Roddy, Bennett, and Taven saying backstage, no mention of Wardlow. I guess Wardlow's just fucked. I don't know what the hell's going on. But you have to fight evil with evil. And, MJF says I broke his trust. But if you trust a guy like MGF, then you're stupid. Good wording. Good wording, Cole. He calls MJF fake, talks about his hair surgery, which, whatever. MJF is a phony, a big fat phony. And we have the best wrestlers in young towns who will take this company into the future, probably into the ditch. Let me just say, I like Adam Cole, and he seems like a genuinely good guy. He says that he wants to face MJF, and all that's great. Does anybody trust Adam Cole to stay healthy at this point? Does anybody really care about this MJF Cole stuff? Like, yeah, it was entertaining even after Cole got injured. Well, actually, until Cole got injured, and then a lot of it started to get annoying. But, yes, they made the most of it, but I'm sorry. Does anybody think that this feud's going to matter? No. MJF did a pre-tape, and why was he on the Dark Shadows set? He's not going to let anyone in again. That Cole left a void in him, so he's going to leave a void in Cole and not give him the match. But then Cole vows to beat his ass. This was a long bit of talking, and they kept it going. I have no issue with them trying to feature MJF and not have him on the show every week they're live. They can rotate people in and out. They also had their lowest rated Dynamite last week, which, yes, was on Tuesday, so it was in a different slot. It also was in front of the smallest crowd that they had during their Washington State run. They had like 9,500 for the first Dynamite. They had 4,000, 4,500 for the Collision before last year's Wrestle Dream. 6,500 for Wrestle Dream last year. They had about 3,000 for Dynamite in Everett, and then they had about 1,800, or maybe 2,000 in Spokane, and had maybe 6,500 to 7,000 in the Tacoma Dome. People say it was about 8,000. Fuck you. There were empty seats all over. So, does anybody really think that this Cole MJF stuff's going to work? No. I'm sorry. Injuries happen, they do, and I wish Cole nothing but the best, but I don't care. Why are we still getting more Briscoe and Jericho? It's going to be ladder warfare. Watch it be that Jericho ends up winning the title again next week. And then FTR took on Big Bill and Brian Queef, and I know his name's Brian Keith. But no. He got pinned after about 8 minutes. I don't care about any of the stuff involving Jericho. It's ratings poison. So, Roosh and Co. were watching backstage. Roosh, the Meat Mortos, and Dralistico. Here are the Outrunners. They do the Dylan, you son of a bitch handshake, and that popped the crowd. Look, they got some with the Outrunners. I don't know how long they can run with it, or outrun with it, but they got something with them. Renee is with the Acclaimed and Billy. Billy says, well, we're about to go work out. The show is going on right now. You didn't have a chance to work out before now? And MVP and Shelton show up, and MVP offers his card to Caster. I'm sorry, but you're better off going with Bowens. Bowens has a bigger upside as a singles wrestler. And maybe they'll actually bring Caster into the fold, and then Shelton can beat the shit out of him for what Caster said about, they don't need to sign another person like Shelton. I forget the exact wording, but it was like something like, signing more people won't help. Shelton, who could wrestle circles around Caster, by the way. Speaking of wrestling circles around people, neither of these two could. Mercedes, along with Camille in her corner, took on Queen Aminata for the TBS Championship. Look, Aminata has improved. This is better than Mercedes has usually looked, but I'm sorry, I didn't care. I just didn't. I don't care about Mercedes. She's been such a fucking flop. She has fallen flatter than a pancake. She won with the bank statement variation. I don't know what the fuck they're calling it now. Look, Aminata has good size, and there is a chance to have something there, but no. And then Private Party and the Bucks are talking backstage, and Private Party wanted another shot. No, that doesn't work for us, brother. The difference is Hulk Hogan drew money and sold out arenas. He also probably has the same views as the Bucks, but still, Hogan actually lent more positives to wrestling, at least during his in-ring career. Definitely not as a person, but let me just say that. Stokely offers to manage Private Party again. You know, if they put Stokely and Lio Rush together, I would be confused and think the two children managed to get on the opposite side of the barricade. So the Elite had a birthday cake for Kenny with guts. The guts spilling out is displaying all the money that Tony Khan has basically just burped and erped all over the goddamn arena floor. What he has just done, actually, he might as well just set the cake on fire. Because speaking of setting things on fire, we got O'Reilly, Romero, and Cassidy against Okada and the Bucks. Referee Rick Knox. Seriously? Fucking seriously? If you were expecting analysis with matches like this, I don't know. You have to be coming for snark at this point. Because if I've given up on reviewing most weekly WWE stuff, and I want to keep giving AEW a chance to impress me, and they keep not impressing me, eventually it's just going to get annoying. Eventually it's just, if they put on more shows like this is one of the worst Dynamites they put on all year. This might be the worst Dynamite they put on all year. More shows like this, and I may be going to intermittent reviews starting next year. Because this is getting ridiculous. AEW has burned me a lot. Wrestling in general has burned me a lot. As much as it's entertained me, it has burned me a lot over the last few years. So, Yuta runs in and attacks Orange Cassidy. The rest of Right Said Mox shows up. Or Moxtribution, as something was coined from a friend of mine that I was talking to. And then Top Flight and the Dark Order run in, and then while this is going on, it was like 20 minutes of TV, 18 to 20 minutes. Garcia's in confronting the Elite. Oh, why didn't you do something? Jack Perry and Garcia, I'm sorry. When Garcia is the better promo of the two, you are fucked. And then Lio Rush with Layla Gray against Shelton Benjamin with MVP. This should have been half the time that it was. I will not dispute that Lio Rush is athletic. I can't fucking believe anything he does. I can't believe he would break rice paper with anything he does. I did like how Shelton did a rising knee strike to stop a dive. And Leo did get some flurries in. It should have been shorter than it was. They chanted for Leo. I hope the Sharks never win the Stanley Cup because you don't fucking deserve it. I'm sorry. You're cheering for a little child. And, speaking of which, I guess Leo does have children, so he could have somebody else to look up to. So, Leo does some more stuff. I did like the spin kick variation that Shelton did. And Shelton did a weird flatliner variation that didn't quite work. I did like how he jumped up to the top and threw him off. That got a good pop. And eventually he did an exploder variation, 1, 2, 3. Again, it took twice as long as it needed to, and given some of the shit that was on this show, they really could have shortened things. But then MVP was, good try, Leo, good try. I was hoping he was going to be like McPherson in Space Mutiny with his cane. If you get that, that is a very deep cut. And in 2 weeks, it will be Swerve and Shelton. So then commentaries mentioned they have not been able to get a hold of Darby, but hey, here's something he recorded before Wrestle Dream. The thing where Darby had a broken foot but was doing the skateboarding stuff with Tony Hawk. They signed pictures, and it's like a skate park project thing or something like that. And it's buying the pictures, these signed pictures by Darby and Tony. And the proceeds go to help, keep, renovate skate parks or open skate parks. And you know what? I can't fault that right there. But it's just kind of funny. We can't get a hold of Darby, but here's this pre-table we've been holding on to in case we can't get a hold of him. Swerve and Prince Nana are talking backstage. Swerve accepts the challenge. A press conference with Don Callis. He brings up Brian Cage and Lance Archer, who I thought was doing his best primetime Brian Lee impression. And Fletcher and Takeshita show up. Takeshita vows to defend the International Championship all over. I also know that Takeshita better pick up Triple H's call if his contract ever comes up. Because I don't know really what else he can fucking do in this company. Yes, he's a champion. And as long as he's with Callis, he's getting boos like, we're in on the goddamn joke. It's not like we hate this guy. I mean, I hate him because of the fact that he made the women's division in Impact uncomfortable, and he's a lecherous creep. But a lot of people are just doing it just because, oh, he's a heel, we're going to boo him. Fletcher, then, bless him, he's trying. This was a terrible promo. Well, you want to know why I did what I did to Ospreay? Well, too bad. The fuck? He's got a lot on his mind. He's got a lot of hair on his scalp. So Mariah is wanting to be on top. Stop it. You know who you are. And she wants competition. Anna Jay then bum rushes, apparently knocking over a few cameramen. And then Daniels is trying to get in between them, and then Anna Jay accidentally slaps Christopher Daniels. Could she slap me like that next? I'm trying to find a woman to slap me like that. So they're going to have that match on Battle of the Belts. They're taping Collision and Battle of the Belts, I believe, tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to watch. I believe it's actually an eliminator match, but nevertheless. So, I thought, maybe okay. We're done with the brawling, the Dark Order, Top Flight, and all that stuff and everything. No. Top Flight, the Dark Order are attacking the Moxtribution backstage. Right said Mox. And Marina Shafir is choking out one of the guys, Action Andretti, or one of the Top Flight. I don't know. And they're just doing all this stuff. Like, it's bad camera cuts, all this, and then suddenly Moxtribution just gets in the goddamn truck and just leaves. And Evil Uno's cutting a promo. Oh, whether it's, Rampage, Collision, whether it's on Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, or in the parking lot. We've been here since day one. That's the fucking problem. Tony needs to learn to say no when it comes to signing people to bigger extensions. I'm not against people earning money. But tell me, if Top Flight was sent to be part of the Super Junior Tag League tournament, if they sent Dark Order away for 6 months, if they took 30% of their roster, they took Kip Sabian and put him in the Best of Super Junior, said, hey, New Japan, we'll send you some of our guys. We need to freshen them up. I'm not saying that it would be, that New Japan fans would love them. One, it would at least freshen up their promotion, for their product, whatever it is. And then maybe Tony could learn to say no and could just say, okay, we got contracts coming up. We're going to go to pay per appearance stuff. Because, yeah, Tony Khan's got all the goddamn money in the world. They got an increase on their television deal. He can spend whatever he wants. It's his business. But the ratings are diving. The crowd sizes are diving. The interest level is diving. The pay-per-views may be holding steady. But he needs to fucking just stop. He needs to stop goddamn being a chicken shit boss. And he needs to rein things in. He also needs to give the book to somebody else. He needs to come up with a few people that can book things. Somebody could book the tag division. Somebody could book the heavyweight division. Somebody could book the women's division. You can come up with ideas where you can come up with a couple people to book every single thing. These respective divisions. Come up with a team to book Ring of Honor. Put Ring of Honor in Universal Studios. Do something. This company should be further along than it is after 5 goddamn years. And it's all on Tony Khan's face. And his face, his chest, his feet, whatever. This stuff with Right Said Moxtribution is not good. And then Jay White and Christian had a match where the Goon Squad ended up fighting off. And then later, Kip Sabian ends up doing a distraction, trying to say, hey, Christian's going to do something. But then Hangman shows up and hits a buckshot lariat as Jay White's about to hit his finish. There's nothing wrong with this match, by the way, but I was so pissed off well before this happened. I was like, this is your main event. So, yeah, Kip Sabian, good job there. You fucking distracted that. And Christian ends up picking up the pieces after the buckshot. And then Hangman just corpses and just does his stuff and whatever the hell he's doing. And it was a 10-minute overrun. 9 to 10-minute overrun for this shitty show. I am giving it until the end of the year. And then I might start doing intermittent AEW reviews. They better start putting the pay-per-views on Max for a reduced price by Revolution. Because if they think that they're going to be able to continue to draw from that same fan base, they're goddamn dying on television. They are dying in the goddamn markets. It's getting to, they had 3,500 people in a pretty big arena like this, a big sports arena. Run smaller venues, get smarter people to be in charge. Maybe put Jeff Jarrett and a couple people in charge, since Jeff Jarrett, worked with his dad, and his dad knew all about buildings and everything. And I'm not saying it's the same, business, but because everything evolves or changes, but he knows at least how to draw in some markets, or at least get better buildings. Tony Khan can't do this, and he refuses to admit it. Anyway, agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rittland. I want AEW to succeed. I want it to succeed. I want it to be better. I don't want this company to just be something that's a vanity project. And that's basically what it's become. It's incoherent. It's a mess. People aren't able to do anything, that's able to be followed up on properly. And any of the people that are given a lot of TV time, Jericho, the Bucks, the Elite, Okada in general, it's poison. It's fucking poison. And it's all on Tony Khan. And he needs to fucking change soon, or he's going to drive more fans away, and it's all going to be his fault. Anyway, I'll see you soon.